As you guys can see up on the screen today, I want to talk a little bit about Krystal Biotech Incorporated. This is ticker symbol KRYS. And you can see from this graph, things are going pretty crazy today. You know, the past 5 days, this thing had been trading 52, 42, even hitting 30 for a little bit, dropping down. 39.81 was the close on Friday. And then, whenever you see these vertical lines, that's always exciting. That's always interesting. It's always, at the very least, you're going to wonder what's going on. And yeah, this thing just shot up right at open today, going from 39.81 to 91.20. Right now, it's trading at 86.37, so it's cooled off a little bit, but still being up 63% on the day is going to have people wondering what the heck is going on. Is this thing going to keep shooting higher? Is this, the start of something crazy? Is the best already happened? Is that the big pop and now it's going to, continue to drop off? But that's what we're going to be talking about in this video today, so definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy it, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. With that being said, let's get right into this. So, Krystal Biotech, obviously a biotech stock. We know that these can be very, very volatile. We know these are very, very reliant on the news. And again, obviously, when you see a big upward trajectory like this, especially that almost vertical line, it's a giant, big news story coming out. And again, sometimes those are the start of something crazy. What I do think is at least good about KRYS, if you start to look at like the 1 year, you'll see that this vertical line is now getting us to 52-week highs. We were 85, we were 84, we were 82 back here. This is in March, February 2021, April 2021. But this is breaking us up into new 52-week highs, which to me, that is always something that I really, really look for. If you're hitting 52-week highs, if you're hitting all-time highs, which again, this stock is as well. You look at 5 years, you look at the max. This is an all-time high right now for KRYS. This is momentum that this stock has never seen before. This is getting investors so excited that it's taking us into uncharted territory. Because again, we know that with a lot of these biotech stocks, news makes them jump. Good news makes them jump. Bad news makes them plummet. They're super volatile. They're always moving up and down. And for a lot of these stocks, even when you see them up 20, 30, 50, 100% in a single day, you kind of zoom out and you see that, oh, it's been here before. Oh, it's been way above this before. Oh, this thing, even though it's up right now, like in the long term, you zoom out a little bit, it's still kind of beaten down. We've seen people get excited about this company and this stock before, and it never really panned out. But KRYS, to me, is different. This looks a lot different than a lot of the graphs I've looked at for biotech stocks. Also, I see that this one's sitting around a $2 billion market cap, which it's obviously not huge. It's obviously not big, but in terms of a lot of these volatile biotech plays, that's a lot bigger than some of the ones we talk about. Sometimes we're talking about 100 million, 200 million. We're talking about a company 10 to 20 times larger and more established than a lot of these other companies that people are trading more often. People are buying into crazy hype and crazy news more often. So I really do think that of all the stocks I've looked at on this channel, KRYS, at least initially, from looking at some of the graphs, looking from some of the stuff they have going on, now yes, they are still not profitable. Their most recent net income in September of 2021 was minus right around 16 million, and that was kind of down from what they had shown before. But obviously, investors are still getting excited about this company. Overall, this has been a pretty good investment if you have continuously bought into KRYS, especially if you've bought some of the dips over the last 5 years. And that is a very, very good sign because, again, that is not what I can say for a lot of these companies. But now, as far as the news that has Krystal Biotech popping today, specifically, what we kind of need to break down to see where this thing's going for the future, that was this. Comes from MarketWatch.com. Krystal Biotech shares more than double after dystrophic EB trial meets objectives. Obviously, when trials are going good, the stocks are going to be running good. They're going to be running hot. But then always the question is going to be for, an investor, a potential investor, or, prospective investor is, do I think the trials are going to continue to go good? And also, do I think that these good trials or objectives or whatever are going to turn into profit, are going to turn into revenue, are going to turn into sales? Because obviously at the end of the day, I always talk about this for these biotech stocks. Yes, trials going good or, new drugs, new treatments, whatever, that can be awesome. If it changes lives, that's great. If it changes the world, that's great. If it helps people out, that's awesome. But when we're talking about investing, obviously, there needs to be some dollars. It needs to make dollars to make sense. Absolutely. You can invest in whatever you think is going to help however many people. But if you're just losing money, that doesn't really make too much sense. You can support them from afar without investing into them. So that's a really, really big thing that, before you potentially get involved in the stock or whatever, you're going to need to kind of answer for yourself. I'm not really here to say anything like that. I'm just kind of covering the news. But here we are. Krystal Biotech Inc. shares more than doubled in pre-market trading after the company set a trial of Biotech for dystrophic epidermolysis bullosa met its primary and secondary objectives, and I see why they call it EB, because man, that is hard to pronounce. Dystrophic EB is a rare and severe disease that affects the skin and mucosal tissue. The pivotal GEM3 trial met its primary endpoint of complete wound healing at 6-month time points and its secondary endpoint of complete wound healing at 3-month time points. So, potentially this drug or treatment is better than they had even hoped for. If this thing was fully healing wounds by 6 months, that would have met their objectives. But this thing is even potentially getting it done at a good, consistent baseline at 3 months. That is obviously a very, very good sign. You really love to see when companies, stocks, whatever, treatments under promise and over deliver. I mean, that is a great sign, because so many times, people are kind of just blowing smoke at us. They're over promising, under delivering. They're hyping it up. They're trying to, just drum up a bunch of fanfare and get people excited and get people hyped and get investors throwing money at them so they can sell off at the top or whatever. But if you have a company that's actually conservative with their estimates, with their objectives, with their trials, and then they hit a home run like this, they knock it out of the park, that can be a great, great sign, not only in terms of having a great treatment or a great drug or whatever, but also in terms of having a great company, a great management team, a team that knows what they're doing, a team that knows what they're capable of, and also knows that, hey, we're going to make this announcement, we're going to make this trial, we're going to tell people, hey, it's going to heal in 6 months, and then people can get excited about that. And then if we're able to do even better, people are going to get more excited about it again. And I think that's exactly what we're seeing with this stock. Again, this is reaching all-time highs because we had people get excited. Things kind of cooled off. We're waiting for trial results. And then the trial results are a home run and people get excited again. Where if they would have told people, hey, this thing's going to, completely heal wounds in 3 months, and then it did that, that'd still be cool, but that's not exceeding expectations. That's not surprising people. That's not surprising the market. That's not surprising investors. And I think having some of that up your sleeve is really, really important, especially to see in a management team, to see in a company, to see in a stock, to see in a business. So I think that's really, really cool. And I think that's another good sign, surrounding KRYS. Again, shares more than doubled, up 123%. Biotech was well tolerated with no drug-related serious adverse events or discontinuations. Awesome. The company says that the biologics license application is on track to be submitted to the FDA in the first half of 2022. Krystal said it expects to submit a marketing authorization application in Europe shortly after the BLA. So that is a very, very good sign as well. But as always with these biotech stocks, they said first half of 2022. Who knows what that's going to be? That could mean February. That could mean May. So it's November right now. So between now and then, we might not get a lot of news. We might not get any new news. We might not get any new results, any new news stories. And that could, even though things are looking really, really good for KRYS right now, that could mean the stock's going to trade sideways for a couple months. That could mean the stock is going to trade down for a couple months. But that also means you have a couple months to dive into this study, dive into this trial, dive into this research, and see what you really think it means for this company. How much money do you think they can realistically make? Could this be a game changer? And if the stock continues to trade sideways or even continues to trend down before we get those decisions from like the FDA and from the European, authorization companies and everything, that could be another big pop. That could be another big jump. So you always have this awesome opportunity with biotech companies like this. If you can relax when the big news is coming out and you can wait for the lulls, because eventually this company's not going to be in the news. It's not going to be in the spotlight. It's not going to be up 63% in a day. And then you can decide if you believe in this, if you think it's a home run, then you can buy those dips. You can eat it up. You can get really, really awesome prices for the next jump. Obviously not financial advice or anything like that. Just giving my thoughts and opinions on this KRYS situation. Personally, I think they're doing a lot of things right. I'm pretty impressed. I think this one, potentially has a good outlook and landscape for the foreseeable future. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate it so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about KRYS. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.